we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome Aaron Baddedly to the interview room here at the Fortinet Championship. Aaron, two pretty cool distinctions to mention this week. First, you're making your 500th career start on the PGA Tour. Second is you're making your 16th start here at the Fortinet Championship, tied for the most of anyone who's ever played here. So with that, why don't we start with locally here at Silverado and Fortinet. Top 5 finish, I think, a few years ago here, 16th start. Just a few comments on being back here. Obviously a cool place in the Napa area. Of course, all that, not to put too many words in your mouth. So just some thoughts on being here this week.
Yeah, this is, to be the 500th event that I've played at this event makes it pretty cool because this is definitely mine and my family's one of our favorite events on the tour. I'm not just saying that because we're here, but it really is. I love the golf course. We love the area. Actually reminds me a lot of home where I grew up. I grew up in the Yarra Valley winery area, and it's very, very similar. The hills with the brown grass, with the trees. They're just a little bit bigger, the hills and around here. But like, when I remember when I first came here, I was like, wait, am I back in Australia right now? So that makes it pretty cool. But yeah, this is one of my favorite events. And I think that the 2 years that I wasn't exempt into the tournament, I Monday qualified in. So yeah, so I had to make sure that I was here. So yeah, last year I Mondayed, and then a few years before that I did the same thing.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
And then the bigger number, 500. 4 wins, 52 top 10 finishes, I think, dating all the way back. I think your first professional start, if I looked it up correctly, was the 91 Honda Classic. Does that sound right?
2000.
2000.
2000
okay.
Honda.
Okay, 2000
Yeah.
Honda.
Yeah.
Just some, I'm dating you. You're not nearly that old.
No. Yeah.
Just some thoughts on hitting that milestone. Is that something you ever could have imagined, 500 PGA Tour starts?
Honestly, I'd never really thought about it. I didn't even know that I was coming up to that until last week. I was doing a day for my sponsor, PWA, and they read off some stats, and they said that I was at 499, and my next start here at the Fortinet was going to be 500. So I was like, wait, no way. So, it's really cool to play that many. I think the only year that I haven't played like a full schedule was last year, and I think I only played like 13 events or something last year. But to be out here that long for 24 years and play pretty much a full schedule, it just it's been pretty great, and also feel like I got some great golf in front of me too, which is more exciting.
Good. Well, that's great. We use 6 Australian, just in case you want to know, to cross 500.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, with that, we'll open it up and take a few questions. If anybody has questions. Matt, go for it. Oh, start here, and then Matt. That's fine.
Aaron, can you talk about the FedEx Cup now being in the fall, starting in the fall, and how that changes your whole thought process?
Starting in...
Well, with the FedEx Cup now
Still
going in the fall, correct?
I think the difference, say, like this time with playing in the fall compared to like when we first started with the fall, I feel like there's more incentives to play in the fall series. Like if you win, you get into the Masters. Where back in like 07, 08 and stuff, there was no you didn't get into Augusta. You can play your way into the signature events. So there's definitely a lot of good reasons to play on top of the fall having some great events on top of that. Yeah.
Aaron, with this being your 500 start, obviously a great chance to reflect. I saw you walking up 18 with your boys a little bit ago. Just wondering how much has changed for you in the 500 starts since number 1 to now, not necessarily on the golf course, but just in life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. My first event, I was 18. Now I'm 42 and got 6 kids. And the boys love their golf as well. They're very sporty, but they also love their golf. And to have them out here, just walk alongside is something that I cherish when they're here, because it's you're out on the road, you miss a lot when you're gone, but to have them out here and be part of the practice. And then when I'm home, we practice a lot and play together. So it's just very special how it's sort of transitioned and changed over the time. And I would say my love for the game hasn't changed at all. Like, it's definitely not a grind at all. I definitely love being out here, love playing the PGA Tour, love the game of golf. So that's remained the same throughout the years, even though things have changed. Yeah.
And then obviously you've got quite a bit of experience here at the course. They've changed up the routing this year and got some of the holes going, no new holes, but just kind of different routing and ordering of the holes. Have you noticed in your time out there, and does that change any of your approach going into the weekend?
No, I feel like the routing doesn't change how you play each hole, because each hole has its own design or own way to play the hole, and whether it's the 16th or whether it's the 4th, it doesn't matter the number. The same hole requires a certain strategy of the golf hole. So I think the finish is going to be great. I feel like coming down to the end of a tournament and having 16, 17, 18 all right next to each other, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people all just in that one area, so it should create a lot of excitement and great atmosphere coming down the stretch there.
And then going back to the big milestone with 500 starts, had 4 wins, but is there any one particular moment, I know it's kind of hard to narrow it down to one, but through your career that has stood out or seemed the most special?
I'd say with the wins that they're all been uniquely special, because I couldn't nail it to one, because Hilton Head, my first win, was the day after Rochelle's and my first wedding anniversary, and there was also Easter Sunday, and myself being a Christian, so those are the 2 big days. And then winning at my new hometown of Phoenix, winning the Phoenix Open, having over 100 friends and family out watching. I mean, that was super special to be able to celebrate with them afterwards. LA was the first win with kids, so with my 2 girls, and then winning at Barbasol after struggling for a few years, and then having the 4 kids at the time. So they're all uniquely special, and so I can't pinpoint one thing, but yeah, they're all just unique.
And then going back to your start this time last year, got in as an open qualifier. Where have you just seen kind of your season trending and progress so far?
Yeah, it's been a good year for the most part. Playing out of the past champions category, not sure when I was getting in, and to be 96 on the FedEx right now, I feel like my game has been trending in that way for a little while. It's nice to get some, as we'd say in Australia, some runs on the board. So good to see some results, and I feel like I'm, have a good fall series and try and push my way up more up there and try and get a win here soon, because I feel like the game's right there.
And it's been a year with Pete on the bag. Was this time last year the first time he joined you on the bag?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we Monday qualified together, and then been together ever since. I feel like we do a good job out there together. We sort of feel like we get the clubs and get the strategy right most of the time. So yeah, he's been great, and he's great with the boys. The boys love him, so it's a lot of fun.
How did that connection start, besides that he looked like he'd be part of the family with the hair?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it was the final Corn Ferry event I've known Pete. We've been friends, and we sort of happened to go to the same pokey spot for dinner, and we sort of just sat and chatted for a little bit, and then he's like, hey, if anything opens up next year, and he texted me, he said, do you need someone to Monday qualify with? And I was like, sure, and that's sort of how it started. So yeah, it's worked out well.
I mentioned the 52 top 10s. Your most recent one was just a few weeks ago at 3M. What are you most confident about right now with your game? Something that's kind of you're leaning on, for lack of a better term, right now.
Yeah, I feel like my iron play is really good. I feel like I've noticed my statistics. I keep my own stats, and I've noticed that I'm hitting more greens in regulation, and I'm hitting them closer, so I get more birdie opportunities. So I feel like that's a real strength. So if I can keep driving it well and take advantage with a few putts, then it should be right there. Have a chance on Sunday. Yeah.
Aaron, first of all, congratulations on 500 starts. That's a tremendous accomplishment. Speaking about Napa, many players talk about Napa being such a great place to come. In your 16 years coming here, have you built any traditions or anything special that highlights that you've had that you can share with us?
Yeah, I'd say the Oxbow Market is a place that we always go with the family. That's been a tradition. And then when the tournament was a little bit later in October, there was a pumpkin patch here that we used to always go to. And then since it's now moved forward into September, the pumpkin patch hasn't been there the last couple of years. So, but that pumpkin patch was always a tradition. We would always go there for sure. So I'd say those are the two things that we would, as a family, would always do.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All good? All right. Well, like I said, short and sweet. That's awesome. Thank you, and congrats on a couple of good milestones there.
Thank you. Thank you.